Hey everybody, welcome to Crushing It 2021, day one. Okay, so I just want to tell you first who I am. My name is Alicia McPeak. I have been a holistic nutrition and wellness coach or a personal trainer or something like that most of my life. And for the past 10 years, I've had a business of my own. It's a franchise, it's virtual, and I went into this business with the idea that I really was excited about the challenge of growing. I don't know about you, but I presume that since you're here, you want to grow and you want to expand and you want to become better at your life, at what you do, maybe your business. Maybe you have goals and you know that they're stretching you a little bit and you're going to have to grow. Well, that's where I was. I knew that if I took on the challenge of having this business, that I was going to have to be forced to grow. And quite frankly, the only time we really feel amazing and alive is when we're stretching and growing. Think about any time in your life when you've had an experience where you've had to grow. And sometimes they're traumatic and sometimes they're painful, but they force you to grow and you truly feel awake, alive. And even when they're hard things that you go through, they just change you and they make you feel so happy. And if we can program that into our lives regularly, not only will our lives get better, but we'll feel full of joy and happiness because we are overcoming, excelling, and getting better. So I just want to cover with you guys first what we have going on here in the next 30 days. I'm going to come here every day on YouTube and I'm going to do a video and it's going to be released first thing in the morning. Make sure that you're subscribed to my channel, that you hit the notification buttons and you will be notified that a video has been released. That way you can schedule time in your day to go sit down with the video with your pad, your pen, and work through the different tasks because every day there's going to be a different assignment. We're going to break this down in little tiny pieces. And we're going to do some things that are pretty practical, like set goals and make steps to achieve those goals. But that's not really what I want to do here. I mean, that's kind of the result of what we're going to do here. What we're going to do here is up level. We're going to up level you. We're going to help you figure out why in the past that you haven't excelled and what you can do to overcome that. We're going to change your habits and your behaviors. We're going to create systems for success in your life. We're going to help you build confidence and belief in you. And we're going to crush limiting beliefs. We're going to identify our stories and we're going to rewrite them and write a new story. And I got to tell you guys, I know if you've probably done this or tried to do this, or maybe you've done this to some degree, it does happen in levels and layers and different things hit you different ways. And the more you grow, the more you hear different things. So I'm going to encourage you, no matter where you are, play full on, do this, do every assignment, do it all in, and see if you can open up yourself to another level. I'll tell you guys though, in the past, you may have heard things about positive thinking or affirmations. All that stuff is great, but it's not enough. Trying really hard even is not enough. You have to go inside and go deep. It's like an onion and we have to keep peeling it back. And I've done all kinds of things over the past several years to grow myself, both industry specific, that I've done things like Landmark. Recently, I had a 2-day workshop with Dean, day workshop with Dean Graciosi, which was amazing. I'm industry specific, working in every single month for the whole year with a group of entrepreneurs who are amazing, who are helping me grow myself and my business. And that's just a little bit of what I've done. Like there's so many different things. I've had personal business coaching. I've had personal coaching. I've done energy work. I mean, I've done so many things to help me grow, and not to mention the things I've read and that, probably a lot like you. But one of the things that I always feel about a lot of the stuff, not these things that I'm talking to you about, is so many of the things out there don't give you practical application. I definitely want you to have the practical application to actually do the things you want to do this year, but also to grow yourself, to become better and have the tools so that next year will be even better than this year. So what we're going to do is create a clarity, as Dean Graziosi says, create a compelling future. We need to create clarity for that future and create a compelling future, something that drives us and pushes us forward. Now, about the stories. We all have stories. And a lot of times we don't really know what they are. And I thought for a long time, that those limiting beliefs in those stories are like a mystery. Like, how do we figure it out? Because they're subconscious or unconscious belief systems. And how do we know what they are? Well, you just have to look around you and see what your life is producing. And you can probably pinpoint them. But we're going to take that a little bit deeper and play with that a little bit more and see if we can go back and identify some of these stories right from the beginning, restructure them, and create a new story for your life. my stories in the past have been things like, I'm just not good enough. I'm always self-sabotaging. And interesting, when I worked with Dean this week, that was the first time I'd seen where that self-sabotaging thing first came into my life. I was told I wasn't good with money. So for a long time, I believed I wasn't good with money. I believed that I was pretty much a screw up, and I screwed things up, and eventually I would screw everything up. And I believed that so much for a while that I actually made sure that I was a screw up, because it was easier to be a screw up than do things well and do things good. Now that was many, many, many years ago, really in my teens, that I did that kind of stuff. But you get the point. We take these stories on, they've been planted in us either through a life circumstance or a family circumstance or something. We take them on, we believe that they are real, and they become real for us. And then we look for ways to prove them to ourselves. Have you guys ever been river rafting? If you have, you've probably heard of something called the positive point. When you're on a river, it's hard to hear. A lot of different rafts go down the river together, and they have to develop hand signals to make sure that they help each other out navigate the river, so they don't run into a rock or a tree stump or something like that and tump the whole raft over. So they use something called the positive point. The positive point is where they point at where they want to go, not at where they don't want to go. If you point to the whole raft or all the other rafts where you don't want to go, everybody's going to look that way and go that direction. So we want to point not to where we don't want to go, but to where we do want to go. And that's what we're going to work on here. You probably heard things like, what you focus on expands, what you focus on is what you get, where your attention goes, your energy flows. What you think about the most of the time is what you get in your life. And there's so much truth to that. And so we have to really dissect the way we're thinking and create a new way of thinking, a new way of being, so that we can become, from the inside out, the person that we want, so that we can create the compelling future that we want and actually live into it. So here's your first assignment. I want you to remember a time when you really wanted something in your life. You really wanted it badly, but it didn't work out for some reason. I want you to think of that time. I want you to write about it. I want you to write about how it felt, how you felt before, how you felt during, and how you felt after. And I want you to answer this question. Why do you think it didn't work out? What do you think happened? Can you identify what happened that made that something not work out? Was it something you did? Or was it something that later in your life actually turned out differently, and it was a good thing that hadn't happened? So identify that. I'd love to hear from you guys. You guys can DM me, or you can post in the comments section of YouTube or anywhere else you've seen this posted. If we do start a Facebook group, which I asked you about, we can definitely do some interacting in there, which I think would be a really good idea. So if you do want a Facebook group to do this, let me know. Okay, and then think of a time in your life when you were successful. You wanted something really bad and you were successful and you did accomplish it. What was the difference there? Why did you succeed there? I want you to write about that, the before, during, and after, and look at it and dissect it and figure out why that time it worked out. Why was that one successful? Now, are you mad at yourself for failing or not achieving goals in the past, even from last year? Did you have big goals last year, and once again, you woke up this year and you hadn't achieved them? Are you upset with yourself? Are you focused on your weaknesses or your failures? If there's one thing that you definitely need to change, you have to change this, because you can't beat yourself up. In nutrition coaching, one of the things that I teach people is that when they make a decision that's contrary to their chosen path of whatever, but in this case, eating, that they have to look at it as, okay, that was a choice and I can make a new choice in this moment. I cannot sit here and dwell on that, because if I dwell on my mistakes, my quote unquote failures, the things that I didn't achieve right, all I'm going to do is more of that. So I want you to wipe away any thoughts of the past, of anything that failed. And I want you to consider that life happens for you and not to you. What about that? What if life happens for you and not to you? Does that mean that everything's engineered and designed in your life so that you can actually create the life that you want, the life that you're meant to have? What if that's the case? Now, I want you to flip those beliefs upside down and start looking at them from that very valuable, creative way of creating the life that you have because of these valuable lessons and things that you've learned. So your second part of your first assignment is very practical. I want you to take like 10 minutes, set a timer, and I want you to write down everything in your world that you want to achieve, accomplish, do, be, have, everything. Do it in all areas of your life. Do it in health, do it in fitness, do it in relationships, career, business. This is a brain dump. All you're doing is dumping everything you want. And then I want you to go back through and I want you to star the things that you'd really like to accomplish this year. Okay. What would you really like to accomplish this year in each of those areas? Specifically, and for sure, health, relationships, business or career. And there's one more that I want you to do it in. Health, relationship, business, and career. Those three for sure. Can't think. Health. I'll come back to it. If I don't get it by the end of this video, I'll put it down below. At any rate, I want you to be able to look at all those areas of your life and consider what you'd like to have in each one of those areas. Let me see if I can find it right here. It should be here. Okay. Okay. I'll let you know at least those three areas, and then I'll put a fourth one down below. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks for being a part of this. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Make sure you do the work because this is going to build on itself and be progressive. So each day you're going to get a little bit more. All right, take care and see you guys soon.